Hi, my name is Jeannie Lauren Dowden for Conduit News. Coming up this Saturday, Arkansas state members will have the opportunity to vote on the state Republican chair position. And one of those candidates joining us today is Sarah Dunklin. Hi, Sarah. Thanks so much for being with us today.
It's great to be here.
I want to go ahead and say we did extend an invitation to the other candidate, Joseph Wood, and he declined to join us on Conduit, but I know that your schedule is so busy, and so we really appreciate having you in the studio.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of our viewers are familiar with you and your work, but for those who may not be, just tell us a little bit about yourself. And you've been involved in politics for a long time, specifically the Arkansas Republican Party, really since the mid-90s.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about that, if you would.
Yes, I'm a lifelong Republican. My family has always been Republicans. My granddad served on the RNC platform committee and took me to my first convention in 1992 for the RNC. So I of course, went to college after that, and then worked in business and came home. And when I came home, I got actively involved in federal campaigns for the party, and I got into the Tea Party and into the county committee. And I ended up becoming Desha County Chair, and I served 3 terms. And then I became second vice chair of the Congressional District, and then went on to be Congressional District Chair. And I'm on my second term as Congressional District Chair of the 30 counties of the First Congressional. So
that's a lot. How has it been in your role as District Chair? How has that gone?
It's gone great. We have so much involvement, and we've been growing all the county committees, and really we've tripled our meeting size. We've got people excited to come. We have great large meetings, really conservative speakers, and we all just really enjoy coming together to be together and really move this party forward.
Yeah, party unity is so important, and as you mentioned, the party has made great strides. How would you continue to build on that as state chair?
We have made great strides in Arkansas, that's for sure. But we have a lot more work to do. We have a supermajority, but we still have seats to gain, and we have counties to shore up in our courthouses, and all of that work is very serious work as we see what's going on in the world. The time is now to go ahead and make sure that we strengthen our majorities, our supermajority, and make sure that we can hold as many courthouses and legislative seats as possible.
Yeah, and Arkansas voters and probably county committees have seen the flux of elected officials kind of go in and out at times. As chair, how would you bridge that gap between what you're so familiar with these county committees, but then bringing in those elected officials and really working together?
Well, the stronger the county committees and the more vibrant they are, we see that really does affect the elections in the area. And when elected officials come and really get involved in that, those seem to be some of the happiest situations when they get to talk things out. Those officials that do that and foster that relationship with the county committees, they have a better understanding of how the party feels, which is very important. Mm-hmm. They typically get less primary opponents, and they're able to more effectively carry out our platform because they're in touch with the party. So I absolutely encourage that, and communication and involvement. It's really critical.
We have seen over the past several years, while Arkansas has made great strides, our party has made wonderful strides. We have seen there's still that strife as well. Some would call it the old guard or the establishment versus patriots who really want to see change and make a difference. And these aren't just new people coming into these county committees. They've been there for a really long time. Right. How would you work that? How would you handle that? At times, some people could see it as divisive.
Well, where it's not divisive, and I can say that, the frustration really across the country, not just in Arkansas, but is with everything going on with the far left, right? So people are frustrated. They are getting involved. And I believe that we should honor and respect we the people. I'm part of we the people on the Patriot side of the party. But you can ask anyone in the first district, And you'll see that there is a very simple way to bring them all together and how we've brought everyone
Mhm.
together. So we've done it. It's completely possible to unify. We talk about unification, but allowing people to have their own thoughts, their own ideas of what's right and communicate with each other is very important. I will say that for most of the party, where they get upset, where the party members get upset, is where the rules aren't fair, and where we have two different sets of rules depending on who we're talking to, and that's the same thing the Democrats do. So we don't want to be that. And so a consistent application of the rules is something our party hasn't seen really since Dole Webb days. And that's something that I want to take it back to, fairness and accountability. And part of that is knowing the rules. So it's hard to help county committees with things like that and the state, but if you don't, and the districts, if you don't know the rules. So consistent application takes knowledge of that. So when we're able to have fair application of the rules, and all voices are heard, all sides of the party are heard, that's when people really come together behind a common cause. We don't have to think the same as Republicans. We're independent thinkers, but just making the rules fair and making sure that all voices are heard, no one feels silenced or stifled or has any hesitation when they want their voice heard. That is what brings the party together. That's what invigorates people, is the freedom to think independently and come together behind our platform.
I totally agree. I think that we as Republicans are independent thinkers. We take pride in that, not just having groupthink and going along with the flow of what especially elected officials want us to do. But we are seeing Governor Sanders right now whip the vote of legislators. How do you feel about that? What are your thoughts?
Oh, I think that's to be expected. And so we as party members, we're all, we need to make our own choice, right? Because we can think independently and think for ourselves. This is our party. And we all support the governor. We all love having a new governor. And we support her and all the wonderful things that she does. But we as a party we do have our own mind. We do know what's best for us. And so I believe that the same is true, whether you're a state committee man, woman, chairman, or a legislator. We all have our own minds as Republicans. Yeah. So that's what's beautiful about our party.
Some would say that the purpose of the party is to support the governor. Others would say that the purpose of the party, or what's not the purpose of the party, would to be just strictly an extension of the governor's office, regardless of who is in office at that time. What would you say to that? What do you believe the purpose of the party to be?
Well, the purpose of the party is to elect Republicans to every office and serve the citizens of Arkansas in the best way that represents our principles and platform. And we do create the platform. So that's coming up a lot of times. I feel like that's, more of a last minute afterthought when we really need to think through that. We're in one of the most important times this country has ever seen, with 50% of the world's population going off the dollar. We've seen President Trump indicted by Marxists who, are just trying to make sure he doesn't, get to be on the ballot.
Yeah.
So these times are very, we need to make sure that we protect our counties and our state and our seats. And so this is probably the biggest opportunity we've had to be able to do that with all the things going on in the world. I believe that Arkansans really see that. And so let's capitalize on that. Let's do that. Yeah. And I think that, that is a really big reason why I'm in this race. I got encouraged to be in this race, but, by county committee members and people within the party. But the fact is, it's a 15-month position, right? Someone has to know all and have the experience to know what they're doing, to be able to effectively carry this out at one of the most important times in really our history. So I don't think we can leave that to chance. We can't leave these seats to chance. We can't miss something here or there. It's all got to be done. It has to be done successfully. And I'm ready to do that from day one. I've been doing it for years.
I want to ask you about just a few issues that our state party is facing. A few of those will be discussed at the meeting on Saturday. Give us your position on closed primaries and why it's important or not important for a person to be registered as a Republican to vote as a Republican.
I support closed primaries. Closed primaries are in our platform. I fully support our platform, including closed primaries. You know, we have Democrats voting in our primaries, which I personally don't believe, and our platform concurs that we should have Democrats and others that aren't actually Republicans choosing our nominees. We'll see a lot of discussion on Saturday over this topic. There was an AG opinion that came out that said we can absolutely do it. That was something that we already knew. But it has just received pushback from certain members of the party for a while. But the fact is, this is what the people want. We want closed primaries. You know, we'll say that my friend Dorothy Moon in Idaho, the same Democrats that are pushing for ranked choice voting in Idaho, we all know about ranked choice voting, right? Democrat tactic. They are also pushing to open the Idaho primary. So when we see Democrats, the same ones pushing to open a primary, they have a closed primary, and putting that right along with ranked choice voting, we see who wants the open primaries in a red state. That's the Democrats. That's not Republicans. So Saturday is the last opportunity to close our primaries for 2024. So it will take a 2/3 vote, and doing it after Saturday. So like, let's say we were to wait till convention of 2024, that would only affect the 2026 primary. So Saturday is very important for closing our primaries in full support of our platform.
Talk to us also about judicial races. We are seeing some judges legislate from the bench. Other instances, we are seeing judges play political partisan games in the courtroom. Do you think that it's time for there to be judicial races that are now partisan?
Yes, absolutely. I support judicial races running partisan. I believe that that's got wide support across the state. Obviously, it's a very difficult when the legislature makes a law and then a liberal court judge undoes the law and blocks it. So this is a very serious situation. We look at the Arkansas Supreme Court. I mean, people in Arkansas have the right to know what party their potential judge is running with. And so this to me is critical. I will say that, you know, we did put the resolution up to do this at this meeting. However, that resolution is to ensure that we do get that in our platform, that issue. The legislature had the opportunity to get that constitutional ballot amendment out of the issue, out of committee. It didn't come out of committee. So they will have another opportunity to do that. We need to ensure we get it in our platform, right, for 24. And then once we do that, it starts with the resolution this Saturday. Hopefully that will translate to going into the platform coming up in this spring, summer. And then as we go ahead and go into session of 25, then the legislature will bring it up again, and hopefully it will be an amendment on the ballot. So it will actually not be voted on until 26, which means that it would be 2028.
And then we're also seeing discussion about filing fees. There are some who want and have voted in support of doubling the filing fees for those running for office. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that that should happen? Is that a hindrance to maybe some who want to run? And is that one of the reasons why? Or is the thought, you know what, if they're going to run for office, they need to be able to fundraise and garner that type of financial support?
Well, I voted no on that. I do not support higher filing fees for congressional offices. We will be revisiting that on Friday. So I do expect that that will be reversed, that decision will be reversed. But no, I think it is a hindrance to We the People. Arkansas already has the highest filing fees in the nation. There's no reason to increase our filing fees, and I don't support that.
Before we let you go, if someone is going back and forth, right, before they vote, this member votes on Saturday, what would you tell that member? What makes you more qualified and ready for this position of chair?
I've already been a county chair. I was a multiple term county chair. I think it's can be difficult to relate to what a county chair goes through and how to be a successful county chair unless you've already done that and done it long enough to really succeed in it. The same thing I've already done, I've already been Congressional District Chair of 30 counties, which is 40% of the counties in this state. And I've gotten to learn the intricacies of different counties. And so all of these things take a while. Learning the rules, I'm do know the rules. I get kind of a resource for people on that. And also parliamentary procedure, in the first district, we have complicated parliamentary procedure. We have amendments to the amendments to the amendments. All of that is second nature to me. The campaigns, just the entire thing is second nature. And we are going into, I've already been also an RNC delegate. So these things are second nature to me. There's not a learning curve. And also I do stand on the more conservative side of the party. I'm staunchly constitutionalist, staunchly America first. You don't have to worry I'm going to cave when the going gets tough. I'm not a caver.
We wish you both the best of luck Saturday, and thank you so much for coming in today.